The skies above the Middle East have become a high-stakes chessboard where commercial aviation meets geopolitical tension. And right now, airlines are scrambling to reroute their billion-dollar birds away from what's rapidly becoming one of the world's most volatile airspaces. If you've been tracking flights lately or wondering why your cousin's trip to Dubai suddenly takes 3 hours longer, buckle up because we're diving into the aviation chaos, unfolding as Israel and Iran square off in what could be the region's most dangerous escalation in years. Let's cut straight to it. Multiple airlines have suspended flights over Iranian, Iraqi, and Israeli airspace, creating a domino effect that's turning routine international travel into a logistical nightmare. We're talking about carriers from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East itself pulling the emergency brake on routes that have been cash cows for decades. Lufthansa, Air France, Emirates, and dozens of others have either canceled flights entirely or added hours to journey times by swinging wide around the conflict zone. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about a few missed connections. This is about an entire region's airspace becoming essentially off-limits to commercial traffic. The trigger? Escalating military tensions between Israel and Iran that have moved from shadow warfare to something far more overt. Without getting into the weeds of who did what first, the reality is that both nations have demonstrated they're willing to launch strikes across borders. And when missiles start flying, civilian aircraft become unintended targets in the world's deadliest game of chicken. Airlines aren't taking chances, and honestly, can you blame them? The insurance costs alone for flying through active conflict zones would make your eyes water. Never mind the unthinkable alternative. Here's where it gets economically brutal. Every rerouted flight burns extra fuel, requires additional crew hours, and throws schedules into chaos that ripples across global networks. An A380 doesn't just turn on a dime. When you divert a London to Singapore flight around the entire Middle East instead of cutting straight through, you're adding somewhere between 500 to 1,000 nautical miles. That's not just inconvenient, that's millions of dollars daily across the industry. Passengers are facing cancellations, massive delays, and ticket prices that are climbing faster than those rerouted planes. But the human cost extends beyond frustrated travelers. Think about the cargo holds beneath those passenger cabins. Time-sensitive medical supplies, perishable goods, critical manufacturing components, all of it's getting delayed or rerouted through secondary hubs. The Middle East isn't just a flyover zone, it's a critical junction connecting 3 continents. When that junction closes, global supply chains feel the squeeze immediately. Aviation authorities are walking a tightrope here. The decisions about which airspace is safe enough for commercial traffic come down to intelligence assessments that change by the hour. We've seen notices to airmen, or NOTAMs, being issued and updated constantly, creating a fluid situation where what's safe at takeoff might not be safe by the time you're at cruising altitude. Flight planning has become a real-time strategic operation that would make military commanders nod in appreciation. And let's talk about the regional airports themselves. Facilities in Beirut, Amman, and Baghdad are seeing reduced traffic or temporary closures as airlines assess risk on a flight-by-flight basis. Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport has experienced periods where international carriers simply refused to land, leaving Israeli travelers dependent on the national carrier or stranded entirely. Meanwhile, Gulf hubs like Dubai and Doha, which have spent billions positioning themselves as global aviation crossroads, are watching nervous passengers reconsider Middle East connections altogether. The precedent here is chilling. We've seen this movie before with Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 over Ukraine, where commercial aviation and military conflict intersected with catastrophic results. Nobody wants a repeat, which is why the industry is erring on the side of extreme caution, even if it means taking financial hits that'll show up in quarterly reports for months to come. So where does this leave us? Until diplomatic channels can cool temperatures on the ground, expect the skies above the Middle East to remain a no-go zone for risk-averse airlines. Travelers should build in flexibility, check flight status obsessively, and maybe reconsider that connecting flight through the region. Because right now, the only thing heating up faster than the rhetoric between Tehran and Jerusalem is the airspace that nobody wants to fly through.